Hello, welcome to the XVIII Online Tutor. Today's lesson comes from the third eclectic reader, Lesson 18, The Widow and the Merchant. To assist me for today we have a guest. Mr. Thomas, you are welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Let's get started. Please get a pen and paper and write down the vocabulary words, which Mr. Thomas will reveal.
The words for today are, died, to cease living, woman, an adult female human, convinced, to bring by the use of argument or evidence to firm belief or a course of action, amazed, to affect with great wonder, wrote, the past tense of write, pity, sympathy or sorrow felt for the sufferings of another, mistake, a misconception or misunderstanding, rewarded, to satisfy or gratify, grateful, expressing gratitude, check, a written order to a bank to pay the amount specified from funds on deposit. Carefully listen to these words in today's reading.
Let's get started with the reading. A merchant, who was very fond of music, was asked by a poor widow to give her some assistance. Her husband, who was a musician, had died and left her very poor indeed.
The merchant saw that the widow and her daughter, who was with her, were in great distress. He looked with pity into their pale faces, and was convinced by their conduct that their sad story was true.
"How much do you want, my good woman?" said the merchant.
$5 will save us, said the poor widow, with some hesitation.
The merchant sat down at his desk, took a piece of paper, wrote a few lines on it, and gave it to the widow with the words, "Take it to the bank you see on the other side of the street."
The grateful widow and her daughter, without stopping to read the note, hastened to the bank. The banker at once counted out $50 instead of $5, and passed them to the widow.
She was amazed when she saw so much money. "Sir, there is a mistake here," she said. "You have given me $50, and I asked for only $5.
The banker looked at the note once more, and said, "The check calls for $50.
"It is a mistake. Indeed it is," said the widow.
The banker then asked her to wait a few minutes, while he went to see the merchant who gave her the note.
"Yes," said the merchant, when he had heard the banker's story, "I did make a mistake. I wrote 50 instead of 500. Give the poor widow $500, for such honesty is poorly rewarded with even that sum."
Did you hear the words in today's reading?
What a touching story. The story at every turn is trying to tell us how important honesty is in the world and how respectable it is. Don't you agree, Mr. Thomas?
Indeed. Honesty is greatly needed in our world today. Great honesty in a person is very rare to find. That's why the story also tries to tell us to reward honesty and respect it.
That was well put, Mr. Thomas. Well, this is the end of our lesson, and I hope you visit us again at the XVIIIonlinetutor.com for more lessons and worksheets. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for assisting me in today's lesson.
No problem.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.